Good morning, everybody. Welcome to the Invasion Nation Morning Show. Brought to you by yours truly, Redneck. Also brought to you by Romaine Berg, Mill Pond Salon, and a big shout out to KJ's Quick Stop and Iams Garage for keeping me rolling every day. I just want to say good morning. Good morning, everyone. Wake up! Vapor, good morning. Good to see you. As always, my friend, my moderator, thank you very much. I don't know how much of the Redneck Tech we'll see this morning. He's got some stuff to do. Also, good morning, Jerry. Good morning, designed by Terry. Good to see you, Penny LaRue. Good morning, Chad. Ruger wife. Farmer Trucker, good morning. Jody. Jay Holland, good morning. Crazy lady from the farm. Heat wave coming, she says. Good morning. So, and never back down. Good morning. Good to see you. Clinton, good morning. Yeah. Poison singer Brett Michaels. Yeah. I met him one time. He was an arrogant fuck. So I don't make it a point to remember his name. So, yeah. We were talking about music last night if you didn't catch the evening show. Matt Ram, good morning. He said, morning from Nashville. Big Dome, good morning. Good to see you. Crypter, good morning. And anybody else I may have missed, good morning. USMC, good to see you. Literally just finished replay. Yeah. The reason Poison came up was because they, and all the songs that we all know from them, they only had one number one song, and it happened to be a breakup song for Brett Michaels with his longtime girlfriend. So I forgot you, boss lady. I'm sorry. Jeepers. You'd think I was a freaking liberal or something. Oh, no, I'm just kidding. It's nice to poke the bear once in a while. Enjoying my coffee before I get ready for work. Oh, yeah. Coffee's a good thing around here. Make sure you guys check out our social media pages too. We're up to 500 subscribers on YouTube there. Make sure you get on there and check out our YouTube channel. Subscribe. Make sure you watch videos. We're trying to get up there. We're trying to get our up on their monetization schedule. It takes 1,000 subscribers and 4,000 viewed hours. So I will be working on getting. I will definitely be working on getting a bit of a more content up there. Lately, we've been doing a lot of review videos. I'm staying on the safe side of things over there on YouTube because I'm definitely one of their target people. Yeah, man, working on full time streamer. I'm working on it. I'm trying to get there. So yeah, we're getting there. And some of the stuff that I realized that some of these trips that I'll be taking. Uh, Hold on, I'll look. I haven't see the. I'm bad about checking my whispers over there on Twitch. I really am. I need to go check that out. Holy shit. I have 20 of them. I do have a clip of Ohio falling. Uh, yeah. I don't know. I'll have to figure that out. Uh, yeah, I do. I have content. The problem is getting time to actually create it. That's the big thing. My issue right now with having content, it's not that I have a lack of ideas. It's not that I have a lack of stuff to create content on. It's a lack of time. It really is, and that's my biggest hang up. Guess what's happening? Guess I'm the last guy to ask about estimates for decks because I'm the asshole who says, "Can you build a deck?" Good. Fuck up my house or fuck up my deck. I'm coming for you. So, but yes, you definitely want to make sure that they are a licensed contractor. Two, you want to make sure find out if you have to pull the permits or if they're going to pull the permits, um, and that kind of stuff. Uh, and make sure that they're familiar with city code as far as building decks in your area. Uh, yeah, Vapor, I do need to get out. I need to make some more videos. I have a very good editor, Vapor. Our latest YouTube videos, if you guys look, these are all edited by Vapor. Vapor does an absolutely phenomenal job with these things because believe you me, I fuck up a lot of stuff. So if it weren't for him and Redneck Tech, yeah, you'd see some pretty choppy, shitty fucking videos. Let's see here. Getting 4 years in prison for crossing the center line, being under the influence of pot. I don't know if you heard or not. No, I did not. I've been kind of focusing on this, because was it last weekend was Pride Week down in Minneapolis, and I've been kind of focusing on their videos and trying to figure out, they say discrimination, and then as I'm looking at that, Ryan Upchurch comes out with a video of the exact same thing I'm thinking. So I was watching, been watching that kind of stuff because apparently they don't realize that what Donald Trump is doing for their culture. But you go down there, most of them will say fuck Donald Trump, not having done any research. Why? Because they believe in the 95% bad press, which is the same people that give them bad press. I mean, when you see people walking around, oh, he did kill somebody. Oh, oh no, you asked for proof of license and insurance. Absolutely. And you just want to find out who's going to handle the building permit. Are they going to handle getting a building permit or are you? You know, there's a lot of companies out there that kind of skate around things and then you're stuck holding, So, yeah. So, yeah. But yeah, I don't know. There's been a lot of stuff because there's of course now there's a lot of people going around. What's up? Oh yeah, you're looking damn good today. Oh yeah, who are you going out with? You going to Sweden? You gonna go see Vapor? You gonna go see Mr. Smelly? Who are you going to see? I mean, you got like 55 boyfriends on Twitch, so I'm just wondering which one you're going to visit. You're gonna go visit Ruger, huh? You got a whole family thing going on over there. I'm just chopped liver nowadays. Son of a bitch. Lolly is a very trifling woman. You guys will give her no credit. Don't say no hi, lolly. Hell no. You know what she did to me yesterday? Let me tell you what she did to me. I'm going to tell you what she did to me. Now she does, because how busy I am. She gets our sandwiches ready, right? We got them little sandwich containers that you build sandwiches. Um, we to put sandwiches in. So she does that for me, right? It's great. And all of a sudden, I make one sandwich yesterday while I'm on the road, and then I go to make my second sandwich. Guess what I got in there? 2 heels. The first sandwich was just regular normal bread. I don't mind heels. But trying to make a decent sandwich out of 2 heels is a pain in the dick. She could have put one piece of bread, and I didn't know this. I didn't check. I'm like, all right, individual sandwiches, and then we just keep the meat off to the side, keep the meat in the cooler, and do whatever. Uh, yeah, I'm in the same boat. Yes, I don't know shit about building. Like I said, my neighbor hears me firing up a skill saw. He comes running over. What you doing? But yeah, I mean, literally, I'm sitting here. And I'm like, what are we what are we doing here? I walked in the door. I said, "You trifling ass woman," and she goes, "What?" I said, "You got me good." I said, "The first sandwich, everything was all good. Bread was there, the whole 9 yards." And we went to KJ's up there, and I got I had him order me a box of mayonnaise packets and mustard packets to take on the road with me. So I got a box each. And then I get into the second sandwich, and it's 2 fucking heels. And she thought that was just the funniest thing in the world. She's like, "Well, we ran out of bread." I said, "Why wouldn't you put one heel with one piece of bread and another heel with another piece of bread? Because you know that, like, bread absorbs a little bit of the mustard and the mayonnaise, so it's not so slimy and falling all over you." And she wonders why I can't have nice clothes. She wonders why I can't have nice clothes. You need to start cooking food on the engine. I would do that. I actually used to do that in my older vehicles and on semis, but the problem is my truck. You can't do that. If you look up a 5.4 liter Triton and the way it sits in a truck, my headers actually sit down underneath the heads. So my heads come out, and then it sits at an angle that you can't even see the exhaust from the top of the motor at all. This is the newest. Well, I've owned a modular motor before, but it was in a truck that had a warranty and all that kind of fancy shit. So, Fearful, good morning, good to see you. Yeah. So this is the first one I had. I never even had to pick up the hood because you brought it to the dealership. They did the oil change. They did all that shit. I bought it secondhand from a buddy of mine just because he needed to get out of the payments. So I helped him out. Got him out. I took over the payments. So Janine is your bodyguard. Don't blame me for your clothing. I am blaming you for my clothing. It's your fault. At least for yesterday, anyways. I can go that far. Uh. So, um, Vapor, I need to send you on a mission. Little Miss Airhorn, good morning, good to see you. When you're over there hanging out with 30, if he gets on to streaming today, get me his P.O. box, please. I need you to get me. I have some stuff that I need to send 30. Can you please get me his P.O. box again? I have no idea what I did with it. I had it once and then I lost it, and now I need it again because I got some stuff returned to sender, or not returned to sender, but returned in the mail because it was the wrong address. So, if you could get that for me, I would be greatly appreciative of that. That would be phenomenal. That would be amazing. I haven't had time to get over there and hang out where there's shite. So, yeah. He's supposed to text me with it, never does. And then he's like me. It's like, oh man, I keep forgetting. But maybe I'll do something this weekend. Maybe I'll create some YouTube content this weekend. I don't know what. I don't know if I want to do a product. I've been staying with the product reviews right now just to be on the safe side of stuff. Um, and yeah, just to really try and be on the safe side of stuff because, you start getting into the type of political stuff on uh, YouTube. And right now, with what has come out about Google, I would be a prime target. So, and the fact that they're demonetizing a ton of people on the political side, I may just stay off the political side on YouTube for a little while. So, yeah. Oh, a review of my grill? Yeah. Um, I don't. I like my grill. I'll be honest with you. I'll tell you. You know what? I am going to do a review of it. I'm going to wait. You guys have to watch the YouTube video. We're not going to give it up. I'm going to do a review of my grill. That's what I'm going to do. Yeah. Um, so otherwise, last night's show turned out to be pretty good. I'm getting adapted to doing the evening show. The evening show is not always a guarantee though, because like Friday, I was gonna do the evening show and had some family issues come up. So it's the evening show is not going to be always guaranteed, but I'm definitely going to get on there and do it more often. Um, Talking good music, yes, we were. I really wish they wouldn't demonetize you for that shit. I really wish they wouldn't because man, there is some good music. I don't understand that. I could understand if I was like trying to redistribute it for money or something like that, but as part of a show, I guess I don't know how that works. Yeah, Penny Wars. um we were definitely having a good conversation about music last night and uh talking about old classic country and steel guitars and what do they call them over there? Vapor, what do you guys call them over there? What do you guys call a steel guitar? And then we kind of brought in this whole conversation, a pedestal. Yeah. So, and you can look it up under both, and uh, what do you guys talk about? After party. I just happened to catch after party. Yes, the grand opening is Saturday, 10 a.m. Uh, Lolly and I are both going to be there. So, yeah, be there. Oh, why? Oh, good night. Who gave her money? Who gave her money?
You're fired. Get out of here.
Somebody foobarred it. Somebody foobarred it. Somebody screwed up. Somebody get me Donald Trump on one of my like 55 phones. Somebody get me Donald Trump. Oh, we're gonna have to talk about this. She learned how to watch ads for free bits cheaper. She had to watch a lot of ads to play that. See, this is what I mean. Perseverance. Perseverance. Where there is a will, there is a way. Nice. Ah. Hey, be happy now. I only have 10 bits. Thank you, Gus. I greatly appreciate it. We're making them dirt road dollars. Way out yonder, having them holler. Well, it looks like you're going to be watching a lot more ads then. Oh, yeah. How you doing? Oh. Don Martin
Cheer
coming in with
one,
100.
cheer one, 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 cheer one.
Nice. Thank you very much.
Them dirt road dollars, way out yonder, having them holler.
Thank you. He does every day. That's how I'm able to get on here and holler at y'all every day. So I'll take them blessings. So I have to really sit down and create some content this weekend. I need to do another video for Facebook. I need to do a video for YouTube, which I'll probably I'll probably make a couple of videos, and cross post some stuff. And I want to, continue on. And this is the thing, and this is part of full time streaming. It doesn't stop with just getting on here and doing a show. You have to be cross platform. You have to be on all areas, and I also have to be extremely sensitive to the areas in which I'm posting on, because for like a lot of these political videos will never be monetized. Yes, you can watch ads for bits. Jody, I would say whisper Little Miss Airhorn, and she could probably tell you how to do it. So yeah, she's probably by the sounds of it, she's got it down to a science. So my day doesn't start right if I can't watch the show. And here's the thing, when you talk about I hate to say it, but I'm gonna start driving. So have a great day. All right, farmer trucker, you keep it between the ditches and keep the wheels to the pavement. Be safe out there. So here's the thing, when it comes down to uh you know doing this stuff full time, people don't understand. I will be putting in more hours a day as a full time streamer than I am driving. Because now you're talking making videos for cross platforms, doing the shows, the morning show, the evening show. There's a lot of work involved in full time streaming. It's not like I get to take a vacation, because now I have to learn to make content that stays relevant. I have to continually do things to make videos and stuff like that. And that is actually my 100% intention, is to do that. So and I like it. I like the whole concept of it. I like the the whole idea of doing this, and I want to do this. Um, because I'm a very opinionated asshole. That's what it is. And a lot of people seem to like my opinions. I've been complimented numerous times on my review videos because of the fact that I don't just unbox something and give you a review. I use this shit. The stuff that I'm doing reviews on, I literally, I've used this stuff for a year, 2 years, sometimes 3 years, and I put it out there for what it is. I give you guys a longevity review on it. And that's what it is. That's what people like about it. So, and I want to continue on doing that, you know, and I try to make sure the stuff's still available. Most of the stuff that I review is still available, or I tell you to go try and find it somewheres. Yeah. Um, I need to get another cup of coffee, y'all. I ain't gonna lie to you. I've already wiped out my first one. I need to go get another one. So, we're gonna do a quick break here. I know we just started, and we'll be right back. But I really need to get some coffee in me. So, I have to go buy the slime thing for Hoffy. You said it was about $100. Uh, you might be able to find it cheaper. Click on the Amazon link on the bottom of the video. You might be able to find it cheaper on there. But it's a great. Even if it's $100, it's money well spent for a portable air compressor. Money well spent. I use it for my mud truck and I love it. Absolutely love it. Use it for trailer tires, whatever, camper. Best little piece of insurance to have in a vehicle anytime you go on a road trip. So, anyways, yeah, we'll be right back.
Some call me a sinner for the things I've done. Born with a heart of stone, fast with a gun. I'm here to get mine, then I'll leave this town. If you're standing in my way, I'll cut you down. You can't tame.
Good morning, everybody. Welcome back to the Invasion Nation Morning Show. I know it was an early coffee break, but I needed it. Oh, yeah. So, yeah. Don't forget to check out the redneckinvasion.org store. As you guys know, we got the stickers up there. We've got the new can koozies up there, and there'll be more stuff coming here soon. So, yeah. Oh, yeah. Also, don't forget to check out the people that help us keep rolling. Mill Pond Salon and Mill Pond Salon and Romaine Berg. There you go. Drop the ball. See why I need coffee? Do you see why I needed it? Yeah. Lolly just informed me that she doesn't like the new music. Says I don't like the new music. I'm like, well, I can't do anything about it. She's like, I know. I just don't like it. So, yep. In other news, we are ordering the fuel pump for the boat. I went over to Jerry's and we went through it. He tried putting it, pulled it apart, found out the diaphragm in it, or the gasket in it has got some pinholes in it, due to be replaced. But other than that, the motor, and I got to do a prop seal in it, which isn't a big deal. Pretty easy to do, actually. So, yeah, we're gonna get that done. Otherwise, what was it? Oh, so there's been a lot of people right now because they're trying to find out about these polls that have been taken. So you got a lot of YouTubers out right now asking people, what do you think of Donald Trump? And of course, it's always the standard, fuck Trump, and that's it. And the one is a gay guy who was at Pride Week in California, and be right back. Must finish my lunch. Nice. The one guy's a gay guy at Pride Week, and he's in California, and he's like, he's having conversations with them, asking him about Pride. He says, "What do you think about Donald Trump?" And of course, they say, "Fuck Trump," and he says, "Why?" Because he doesn't do anything for the LGBTQRS 923 community. And the guy's like, well, that's where you're really wrong. He's actually done a lot. He's actually done a ton for our community, but gets no. And then, of course, the one jackass comes out with a comment that says, well, he hasn't fixed everything. He's done more than a lot of presidents have in just fixing some of the things. And he hasn't had an opportunity to fix them all. Why? Because he meets opposition from dirt like you. Pink helmet specials. And this is what I don't understand. This is the cause and effect of mainstream media. 95% bad mainstream media, 95% bad press. When everybody's out there, all they want to do is talk about the bad stuff. It's funny because, Donald Trump would does something bad, and it's like the topic of the week it's the topic of the week till he does something else. What did I do to the sound alerts? I didn't do anything. I don't touch that shit.
Oh, yeah!
I have no idea how to pronounce that. AU. We'll go with that. That's capitalized. A unit of cancer. Oh, nice. I got it now. That's a really good name, I guess. So, yeah, anyways, it's like, I don't understand this. Obama would do something good and we would hear it through the entire time of his election. Bill Clinton would do something good, we'd hear it through the entire time of his election. Even the Bushes, we would hear this stuff, and it's like, oh, come on, But Donald Trump receives it has the highest negative press rating I think of any president. I know of any president in my time, but yeah. Where is everyone? Boss lady, I don't know. Maybe they're out getting coffee, making breakfast, getting the kids off to school, that kind of stuff. A lot of people just turn me on and tune me out. But yeah, it's one of those things that I don't understand it. It's like instead of looking at factual basis, they're willing to listen to this little excerpt from the news, and it's like, is that really the deal? Is that really what's going on here? Is that truly the thing that's going on? I don't know. I'm kind of at the point where it's like, all right, they're like, oh, he's losing in the polls. They got groping Joe Biden leading in the polls, all these polls, and it's like, well, I don't know. Truthfully, what it comes down to is just like last time, Trump supporters, people were voting for Donald Trump. You got a lot of people who vote in secret for Donald Trump. They're not going to admit that they did, but they did. And that's the thing. That's the thing. You've got a lot of people who voted for Trump and are just not going to admit it because they don't want to admit it to their friends. And it's going to happen again. It is going to happen again. That's going to make you feel. I wonder how Democrats feel that Donald Trump has got out and said. Donald Trump has got out and saying that the Mexican government is now doing more for immigration than the Democrats are. That's vicious. That is absolutely vicious. How would you like to have that label put on you? A foreign government is doing more than your party. And the one thing about the Democratic Party is they're quick in being labeled as the anti-American party. I didn't realize this, but they're being labeled across multiple forms of media as the anti-American party. More and more people are going to other sources for news and to talk and things like that. Guys are referring more to people like Ben Shapiro. They're Mark Levin. They're taking more of this libertarian approach to looking at politics. And I think you're going to see a rise of a party. You're going to see the rise of a party. Now, everybody thought the Tea Party was going to rise and stand and be the third party in this country, but I don't think it's going to be. And it didn't. I mean, really what it turns out to be is it's looking like the Libertarian Party is making a hell of a stand. If they could all just get their ducks in a row. J. Joe, good morning. Good to see you. Yeah. It'd be interesting to see how this works. You've out of all of this, you've had a few more people. You've even had people splitting away from the defined term of Republican or Democrat and going out. I've been labeled as a constitutionalist. I guess I don't side with any. I don't side with any type of political platform. I basically look at the candidate and see how they're going to best represent me, my beliefs, and my family, and that's what I look at. I don't care what side of the platform you stand on. And that's really that just because I believe in the Constitution as it was written, not as it was amended, but as it was written by our forefathers, and that's how I believe it, and the false interpretations made by the Supreme Court, I think is absolutely wrong. There's a lot of interpretations being made by the Supreme Court, and because they can't ban guns directly, now they're banning accessories for guns. And that really bothers me in and of the sense. And I mean, I'll hit that, that's something that I don't agree with Donald Trump. because to appease the masses, and the stuff he's signing off on stuff I wouldn't use, but it's still the fact that you're coming after anything having to do with the Second Amendment, just to appease the masses. I don't agree with. I love the pictures of your son with his pink helmet shirt. Wow. Who I vote for is my business, not everyone else. Though one group I am in on Facebook is Trump 2020 or something like that. Here's the thing. You want to hear something funny is you look at one of the biggest separation identity politics, as they call it. One of the biggest proponents of that was Barack Obama. You had Barack for Jews, you had Barack for blacks, Barack for women, or Obama for women, Obama for blacks, Obama for Jews, Obama for. If there was a group out there, you had a Facebook group or a Twitter group or whatever, Obama for. And these were all implemented by his campaign. These were all legitimately his and implemented by his campaign. And the thing is you don't see that coming out of Donald Trump. People are like, well, is lashing out on Twitter all the time. But the guy makes probably 4 or 5 tweets a day. It's only the really bad ones that seem to make the news. Imagine that. Right? And it is Trump for America and Americans. And here's my thing. In the more and more of the policies that I see him implementing, the more and more stuff, everybody's like, oh, he's just getting in there to further his business. And Trump's like, my businesses make billions with or without me being president. I'm not worried about that. I'm not worried about my businesses making money. They're making money. The guy has an honest love for Americans. He has an honest love for America. He has an honest love for veterans and the people in this country. Do we always like the things that he says or some of the stuff? No, because and nobody's going to be 100% in line with what we're doing. But out of all the presidents in my lifetime, this guy has honestly made a difference. This guy has honestly stood on the campaign stuff that he was going to do. Okay? He has honestly stood on everything he said he was going to do. Now he wants, in his next 4 years, he wants to attack, go after pharmaceutical companies. It's like you talk to these people who travel to other countries. I was just talking to a guy yesterday. He goes to Canada once a year. And he was talking about the ability to buy the medication that he buys up there for a third of the price of what he pays for it here. And there's people who are getting medication shipped in from around the world as best they can because it's the exact same medication. It's just cheaper. And pharmaceutical companies say, oh, well, the regulations here in the United States are, but you're taking the same stuff here and you're gouging the shit out of the American people because of insurances. And you can thank the Democratic Party for that, for this healthcare insurance bullshit. You can thank them for raising up the insurance companies to charge what they got. I mean, look, everybody says I'm full of shit, but this is coming from people who've never had to pay for health insurance. You look at how many people's wives are going to work just to pay for health insurance, or husbands are just going to work to pay for health insurance. They're living off of one income, and the other income is strictly to pay health insurance. With all the insurances we have to carry here in the state of Minnesota, my wife works probably pretty close to 50 hours a week just to cover that. Just to cover our insurances. That's it. Health insurance, the car insurances, things like that. She's pretty much working just to cover that. That's really it. And these aren't insurance. These are government mandated insurance programs. These are government mandated insurance programs. You got to have these. I can't go buy my $10,000 truck. I have to carry full coverage insurance. Granted, I don't have to pay a lot because my driving record is good, but still, I'm mandated to have full coverage insurance. There's tons of stuff out there. Hope he's nice. Try 6 to get an estimate. Only 2 responds. Yeah, it's a tough time of year to get contractors. So, good luck. Yeah, there's all these insurances that you have to have, and you're still coming out of your pocket with more cash on top of it. I had health insurance for my sleep study. They want another $1,060 on top of that, plus they want another $600 something for the machine. So you're talking almost $2,000 for a modified air compressor. I don't know. No. And again, by the way, I do have health insurance. And it's like I tell my wife, it's like, what the fuck is the point of having health insurance when they can just say, we don't want to cover it? And the health insurances get to decide. Here's the thing. They do everything in their best interest. Like, oh, well, you got to pay a $10,000 deductible before we'll even step in and cover anything. It's like, what the fuck? What do you mean? What am I paying you for? The hell am I paying you for? My son is diabetic and his medications are about $2,000 a month. I'm very thankful that my kids can get state-funded insurance. And that's the thing. $2,000 for insulin. The insurance companies could be putting insulin out for less than $100 and still be making a hell of a profit on it. That's what's crazy. That is one of the biggest medications up for debate right now. It is insulin. Because numerous people have had to choose between feeding their kids or getting insulin. An EpiPen is almost $500. And that kind of stuff to me, that's absolutely asinine. That's asinine. How is it you're going to charge $500? And I mean, I understand. It's America. You can charge whatever you want for it. All right, Ryan, thanks for the subscription. Greatly appreciate it. You're going to charge $500 for, it's like the guy who has the AIDS medication. I think what it cost him, like 35 cents to make it, because he bought it out. It was 35 cents. He didn't even have to do any of the R&D stuff on it or anything. He bought it out, and now he's charging and now he's charging, I forgot what it was. He's charging like hundreds of thousands of dollars for this medication. I have friends in other countries that the wait to see doctors. Well, yeah. And that's the thing. Those are countries who have universal or have government controlled healthcare. This healthcare for all plan. This healthcare for all plan is not to get you better healthcare. I don't want anybody to fall into this. Okay, this healthcare for all that the Democrats keep pushing is not for your benefit. Okay, it is not for your benefit. It's not for your benefit one bit. And anybody who tells you that's full of shit. And I'm going to tell you why. Because it is basically a way for the government to get more control in your life, to control more of the money that you're bringing into your house. It's not good enough that they're taking between 50 and 53% of everything you make in taxes. Okay? It's not good enough. They're not going to be happy until you're basically walking around with no power, no control to do anything. All right, TV coming in with that 4-month. 4 months. Nice. I'm nearly at my deductible for the year because of physical therapy. Went to a new doctor, some health stuff. First doc in the least 11 years that listened and actually helping me. Found out she's out of network, so I get to start all over with an even higher deductible on that one. And that's what I mean. This is what I don't understand. Insurance companies not only get to choose what doctors you go to, they get to choose how much they're actually going to pay outside of taking, thousands of dollars a year from you. I don't know. Tax your pay, tax everything you buy, then you have to pay taxes once a year. And here's one thing that I do not believe in. I don't believe that. I hate the fact that they're allowed to tax for quote unquote infrastructure. And people are, I get into a lot of debates about this. People are like, oh, well, we need infrastructure. We do, but why don't you let the people of the community donate it to it? Why don't you let the people of the community decide what we need for infrastructure? Why don't you let those people decide? I'm tired of paying for tax money for people down in the cities to have mass transit that's losing. I think Swanee came on last night and said the figures are up to $6 million already this year. We've got a light rail system that has lost $6 million already this year, but we want to build more. We got a governor who wants to build more. We've got mass transit systems that basically all you got to do is say you can't afford it. You go down and taxpayers have to foot the bill. It's absolutely asinine. I'm tired of my money being extorted from me and being told what they're going to do with it, whether I like it or not. Oh, yeah, you don't get to keep your doctor for nothing. I went from paying, and I say this all the time, and I'm going to keep saying it. I went from paying $120 a month for health insurance. Why? Because I was just there for just in case I got hurt or something happened. I paid $120 a month, no deductible. Why? Because I wasn't a doctor all the time. The sad part is I paid more for health insurance than I've ever used. Because every time I go to the doctor, for some reason, we're not at our deductible or whatever, so I have to pay for it all out of my pocket. I don't have regular medications. I don't have anything like that. So I'm one of these people who gets screwed. And it's like, okay. And then you try and fight them on it. They're just like, well, you're going to do it, or otherwise we're going to go after your credit, and we're going to garnish your wages, and we're going to do this. And it's like, hi, I'm a doctor. Hey, fuck you. Whoa, what is all the, I don't know, maybe because your asshat office just sat and charged me $1,000 for you to look at a couple pieces of paper, took you 10, 15 minutes, and you charged me $1,000 for it. Or maybe the fact that your office just charged me $39 for a fucking ibuprofen, that I could buy an entire bottle of 100 capsules for $17 at the Walgreens. But you're going to charge me $39 per capsule. Then you don't give me an upfront pricing of what the stuff is going to cost. You tell me that my insurance is going to cover it all, and then you send me a bill later. I don't get that. I don't understand it. And the reason I keep health insurance is because I drive. I drive for a living. I get in a car accident, somebody hits me, somebody pulls out in front of me, and something severe happens to me. We can't afford that out of pocket. I mean, a ride in an ambulance and the initial going in, yeah, that's going to cover my deductible is going to eat. I'll have to cover that. But then you talk everything after that. And it's like, so you have the insurance for just in case, but it's like, okay. What's going to happen? I'm riding an ambulance to bring them to the hospital. They say, oh, they're out of the network. You're going to have to bring them down south, or you're going to have to bring them to a different hospital. Oh, well, that's nice. How is it that you've got insurance companies and pharmaceutical companies partnered up all together in doctor's offices and things like that. It's not to get you a better deal. It's because they all know how to screw each other equally. So they all make the most amount of money out of your pocket. But then again, what do I know? I've only been paying this shit for how many years now? Back when I drove shuttle for the hotel, I've heard a lot of people getting the helicopter rides from Mayo Clinic, and I'm just like, I don't want to know that cost. Oh, they're expensive. My nephew's been on them. I think they start out at about 10 grand a pop. Oh yeah, we were talking about that last night, Matt. We were talking about the kickbacks. How are you going to prescribe me the exact same medication you prescribed the guy right next to me, and we have two totally different body chemistries. You take somebody like me who has no allergies, but I have my body reacts extremely different to medications as to other people. But you're going to prescribe me the same thing, same dose. Why? Because you get a kickback. And if it fucks me up, oh, well, we'll just move you on to something different. One lady rode a helicopter from Kentucky or Kansas to Rochester. Oh, I wonder what that bill cost. Yeah, here's the thing. My wife and I, we learned when we were on pool insurance. We were on that pool insurance for a while. And we learned that you can negotiate your bill. We learned, like now, they want to charge me $1,000 for a sleep study. I said I want an itemized bill. I want an itemized bill sent in the mail. How it is that you're going to charge me $1,050 for a sleep study? I want an itemized bill. What it is that you think is worth $1,060 on top of what my insurance company's already paid. I want to know this. That's what I want to know. I want to know what it is that makes you think that you're worth that. What makes you think that you're worth a fucking mortgage payment for 6 hours of your time? I mean, I don't know what it is. You didn't give me any medication. Okay, yeah, you had one guy in there making, $20 an hour hooking a bunch of wires up to me. But that's it. But again, I have yet to receive that, and they called me last week about it. Gotta go catch you tonight. All right, Penny. Oh, yeah. I just I don't know. This medical shit pisses me off continually when I see this stuff, just because of the fact that when you look at what they're charging to do this, it's absolutely asinine. But then people are like, "Oh, this is why we should do healthcare for all." Why? It doesn't hold the dollar. Here's what it does. Because when you restrict the doctors like this, all they're going to do is offer shittier service. It's a lose-lose situation for the American people when it comes to these assholes. And I mean, it used to be that, to me, doctors were one of the most prestigious jobs growing up. Okay, and it used to be. When you said you were a doctor or a pharmacist, people are like, "Wow, man, you got a damn good job." Now you look at doctors and pharmacists like you used to look at old car salesmen and attorneys. I mean, seriously. I mean, the thing is you look at them and it's like, well, you're a piece of shit. And they look at me like, excuse me? Well, it sure is nice that you get to drive around in a brand new Mercedes or BMW or brand new luxury vehicle every year. I'm glad that I'm making them car payments for you. But I have a hard time sticking $1,000 into my truck just to make it. But you keep living good. You got that. Hey, fuck it, right? I have health insurance department at my office. They gave us some really good tips on things like MRI and such. Don't get them through the clinic or doctor. Wilmer, minimum $1,500 for MRI. Go find an MRI facility in Cloud or the cities, and it's $700 or less. Shop around. Your doctor just has to send the orders over. Same with blood work. Really? Really? I'll have to find that out. Got to get ready for band camp. All right, Little Miss Airhorn, we'll catch you on the flip side. And doctors keep giving medication because of symptoms that you have, but not find out what the real problem is. And that's very much so true. Here's the thing. A doctor fucks up and gives you the wrong prescription. They're not in any way held liable. Oh, we'll just try something else. I got friends who were hospitalized because of bullshit medication. I got family who were hospitalized because of bullshit medication. And guess what? Guess what happens? Nothing. Absolutely nothing happens to them. Nothing happens to them. Nothing. They're not held liable for any of this. They just come in and give them a different medication. Oh, you don't like what I'm doing? Find a different doctor, they say. I don't know, asshole. You just put me in the hospital with what you gave me, so. And I don't know. I don't know. I don't understand it. How is it they're not, they make the most money between them and the insurance companies and the pharmaceutical companies. They all make the most money out of this shit. And look at all the stuff that they were prescribing out there that's now you see up on TV all the time that they're filing class action lawsuits. I mean, again, what do I know? Uh, Doctor had to write a letter and everything. Yeah, that was for my nephew. This shit's just, that's the thing. That's what I don't understand. And it's like insurance companies talk about how hard they get screwed, but insurance companies don't go and fight the rate. I pointed this out one time too. It's like, okay, well, this is what it costs if we pay cash. Why are you paying more? Why are you as an insurance company paying more? Why are you paying more for the same service that if I paid cash for it would be a hell of a lot cheaper? Why are you doing that? And then you're charging me for it. It's funny because when you ask for an itemized bill and what makes this thing cost so much, they try to do that. And then I go to my insurance company and I say, hey, you guys can't fight to make this lower? This is your job. Well, we don't. No, you need to do that. You don't just pay it. This is not what they told me. They told me that you guys were going to cover this whole thing. So whatever you guys don't cover, they eat. Not that you're going to send me a bill later. And I promise you this. You guys watch. I promise you this. I'm going to drag their asses into court. I'm going to drag their asses into court because this is what I was told. that I have insurance that will cover it. You're not going to give me a bill after the fact because all of a sudden my insurance decided they weren't going to cover it. That's between you and the insurance company. That has nothing to do with me. Don't come at me because all of a sudden the insurance says, well, we're just not going to pay it. I don't give a shit. That's not my problem. That's not my problem. That's not how this is going to work. Just like my CPAP machine. My CPAP machine, okay, I go in, I cut them a check for like $176. They had to have $176 up front before they could even give me the machine. And then my insurance company was covering the rest. Oh, no. Oh, no. All of a sudden, I get a phone call 3-4 months later. 3-4 months later, I get a phone call saying, well, you owe us another $600. No, you told me my insurance company was going to pay for it. Oh, well, you need to turn... No, I already paid for it. I don't have to turn it back in. I already paid for it. It's mine. They don't like dealing with me. Funny part is they call me once. I never hear from them. I never get jack shit in the mail. Isn't that hilarious? Didn't your parents ever see American Pie? Nothing like American Nothing like American Pie. Basically just practice for 30 minutes. Yeah, I don't know. I fight with these people tooth and nail. That's why my wife usually puts me on the phone, because I will get in there and I will chew some ass. My wife and I attended a church. My wife and I attended a church one time, and my wife had just gotten, she had to go through, she was hospitalized twice. Each visit was over $10,000. This lady calls my wife, says that my wife needs to figure out how we're going to pay, I think it was like $1,300 a month. It says you're going to figure out how you got to pay for $1,300 a month. And my wife's all freaking out. She goes down there to talk to him. Gotta go. Phone needs to be charged. Have a good day. All right, boss lady. Thanks for tuning in this morning. And my wife's all freaking out. I said, we're not paying that. We're not paying that. And come to find out, it was a lady that stood in front of, was a church elder where we were going to church. And I was like, oh, really? Really? That's I understand that one thing is your job, but when we tell you we cannot, that's more than our mortgage payment. We cannot afford to pay you that. We're in a financial deal here. You're able to cover things at $25 a month. And guess what? I walked out of there where we left, and then I talked to the pastor a couple weeks later because I hadn't gone back there. He says, well, why didn't you come back? I said, there's a woman who stands in the front of your church that made my wife feel absolutely lower than low. I said, she works at Rice Hospital. And I said, she made my wife feel like she was a piece of shit because we couldn't afford to make the $1,300 a month payment she was demanding for an emergency hospital visit. I said, I've got no tolerance for that. And then you're going to stand up in front of the church and play holier than thou. I'm not going to do that. I'm not even going to condone it. I'm not anything. There's a reason I don't stand in front of the church. There's a reason I'm very knowledgeable and very qualified, but I don't. Because of the fact that, my lifestyle doesn't fit what I believe should be up there. So, loyalty to schoolmates has me watching some of the stupidest movies. Yeah. I have my whole family covered under dental insurance. Kids and I all went at the same time. Got a call from the dentist saying, son wasn't covered. I was like, what the fuck? It's coming out of my check. Sick our insurance department on them and found the dental insurance just dropped my boy for no reason. Needless to say, it's all resolved and they paid it. Oh, yeah, that was a whole nother thing there. Let's talk about our dental insurance, right? So I go into, uh, I don't have any dental insurance. So, yeah. The thing was, is we went in and I found out that Aspen, everybody I've talked to that goes to Aspen Dental here in Wilmer, I found out that everybody's on the 5-visit plan. So I go in and they tell me that, they'll get me financed for getting my teeth fixed, and that's fine. I need about $8,000 worth of dental work, according to them. That's fine. So they tell me I got to go in and I got to get a root canal done, and they're going to fix one of my teeth. I said, okay. So I go there, and they're like, well, here, we got to send you to an outside clinic. Oh, okay. Well, I thought this was all part of the procedure. Oh, no. On top of that $8,000, I have to pay another company $1,400 to drill a hole in my tooth. $1,400 to drill a hole in my tooth. I said, oh, no. Drilling a hole in my tooth is not worth $1,400. It is not. You cannot justify $1,400. Well, that's what we charge. Well, that's not what you're getting. I went back there. I told the dentist, I said, you're going to yank this fucker out today. And she goes, excuse me? I said, either you're going to yank it out today or I'm going to take these here. And I pulled my Leatherman out. I said, I'm going to take these here Leatherman. I'm going to yank this motherfucker out right in front of you because I've been dealing with this for 3 weeks, doing this loopsy-doopsy roundabout with you guys, and I can't deal with it anymore. You need to be upfront about the shit that's going to go on in this process. And she just looked at me. I said, I'm not playing. Get the tooth out of my head or I'm going to yank it out here right in front of you. And yeah, let's just say I was immediately brought in, paid $100. My insurance covered. I do have dental insurance. That's right, because they paid half of it, and I had to pay the other $100, and they yanked a tooth out of my head. And that's exactly what I did. Right? You think I'm beyond taking a pair of pliers and ripping a tooth out of my head if it hurts? Shit, no. I don't give a flying flip. My favorite part was the doctor was like, because he asked how often you brush. I said, I brush once a day. I said, I brush before I go out the door, before I go to work. And he says, well, you should brush more often. It'll save you, then you wouldn't have so many problems. I said, well, that's funny. My wife brushes 2 or 3 times a day and comes in here and she's got very good dental hygiene to your standards. And she's got to spend just as much money as I do to get her teeth fixed. How the fuck does that work? Tell me again, Sam. It shouldn't be a full-time job to figure out their insane lying and cheating billing system. Oh, yeah. I wish I had the stamina to fight with wrongful bill. Stupidity exhausts me. Oh, listen, I will fight with them tooth and nail. That's the best part about being a driver. That is the best part about being a driver, and I'll tell you why. Because I've got nothing but time to sit on the phone and argue with your ass. I will argue with you all day long. I got 500 miles to argue with, and then I'll put you on hold and be like, hold on, I got to make a pickup. And then I'll do my pickup, and I'll come back out there, and I'll keep arguing with your ass. Think I won't? And now I got a signal booster. Make sure I don't drop any calls. By the way, everybody, just so you know, the signal booster actually works a lot better in my truck than it does in the Suburban. The dead zones that I used to drop calls in, I have a couple little hiccups, but outside of that, I talk to a few guys that are on the road all the time, and this thing works all the way through. Streaming, not so much, but streaming's a whole different animal. It still drops during streams, and there isn't a whole lot I can do about that. It just is what it is. But call wise, texting wise, the thing works absolutely phenomenal. But it definitely increases signal strength even for streaming. So I'm very, very happy with it, by the way. So thank you all for that. Thank you, Redneck Tech, for losing your beard over that. And to our anonymous donor, thank you very much for that. I greatly appreciate it. So, gotta go later, taters. My job required me to act that way. I would look for another job because I would be fired because I wouldn't act the way I just wanted to find something that respected my morals. Here's the thing. I understand that your job is in a collections department. My wife worked collections. Okay. All right. I understand that. But when I'm telling you, and my wife is there in tears and telling you that she can't afford it, there's a thing called compassion. Not once did she offer any of the alternative programs that they have. You know, like you've got Catholic Charities and you've got places like that will help when you cannot afford it. We legitimately could not afford it. This was at the time we were fighting for my son. We legitimately could not afford to pay that kind of money a month. Most people can't afford to pay that kind of money a month. And the fact that the medical society believes that because they get paid, you know, millions of dollars a year that people can afford that, shit. I wonder if we could find something on that. Give me a second here. Good morning, B2 Crafts. Good to see you. Well, the family practice doctor makes $214,000 a year, um, according to this. As of May of between $189,000 and $238,000 a year. That's salary wise. That's not counting all the kickbacks they get from pharmaceutical companies and things like that. Surgeons, $489,000 a year. Uh, and if Rochester Mayo, they're at 200 and well, you got some physicians that are making $500,000 a year. So, yeah. She's still staying. I don't know. We don't attend there. We haven't been attending there. Here's the problem, Crypter. I can't go to, again, because insurance dictates that my insurance will only cover half if I go to the dentist that they want me to go to. And of course, when insurance companies put their programs together, they don't want to have to shop in individual areas. So anytime that they can go to a corporate place, like Aspen or wherever else, it's funny because I talked to like the Redneck Tech, and I talked to my wife, and I talked to all these other people. Everybody's on the 5-step program there. Everybody. $2.4 million Swedish kroner. Yeah. Well, unfortunately, veterinarians don't make as much as regular doctors do here. So they do make good money. We could actually look that up real quick, too. Uh, Well, the technician is $15.89 an hour. Veterinarians typically take home between $65,000 and $76,000 a year. Here in Minnesota, they get 17% less than the national average. So, here in Minnesota, it's usually 65,000 a year. National average is 76,351 per year. So, uh, just so you guys can see it up there. Yeah. Ugh. Well, but it's cheaper for health check than at the veterinarian. I should do that. Well, see, because of licensing, veterinarians are not technically allowed to do anything with people. That's why. Welcome to the United States. It's just like this. I go to Mill Pond Salon, and Paulina's somebody who I would trust to use a razor on my head, but because she's not a licensed barber, basically use all the same equipment outside of a straight razor. And here's the thing. They use shaving razors as salons, and she can't even use a shaving razor on my head. But she can use it if she does makeup. Figure that out. Oh yeah, our veterinarians have been very good. Like when we couldn't afford, our dogs had a bad round at a groomers, um, and they gotten rashes from it, and we had to bring them in. And our groomer was very apologetic for it, and things like that. Didn't realize, had we told her, she would have paid for it. But our vets, like when we couldn't afford it right off the rip, our vets like, all right, just make sure you get it to me, or give me, send me something. And that's the thing. You don't get a doctor's office like that. You're gonna pay us now, and you're gonna pay us what we demand. I remember the one time, uh, my wife was down at St. Mary's, and they were telling her that we had to pay $2,000 a month. I said, so you're telling me we have to pay everything that she makes every month to you? Well, this is what I said. You didn't give me a bill beforehand. You didn't say. I said, when I go to a bank and I sign agreements for papers, I know what my payments are going to be before I sign this loan. You didn't tell me this. So no, you're going to work on my payment schedule. They hate dealing with me. My wife is like, here, you talk to my husband. Boy, I will get into, boy. Yeah. But see, I'm telling the vet I'm a pig trapped in here. Oh, so you're identifying as a pig. Well, you can get away with that here in America. I should try that. I'm going to go to my vet and be like, listen, I'm identifying as a pig today. I need you to look at me. I'm not feeling so well. And they'd be like, what? I'm identifying as a pig. Right, motherfucker. Put me on the table. Put me on a table. Right. That's what I'm doing. I'm going to do it. It says copays due at the time of visit, but not at the vet. Well, that's the thing. I don't mind paying the copay. I don't mind paying the $20 copay or whatever it is. $20. That's fine. I get that. All right, Sarah. Thank you very much for the 25 biddies. I don't mind that. Listen. I understand copay, whatever. Call it the administrative fee. All right, I get that. But yeah, the fact that you don't tell me what this stuff is going to cost, and then I'm paying I don't know how many thousands of dollars for the doctor to walk in, sign the charts. The nurse did all the damn diagnosis and everything. The nurse checked everything out. The doctor just walks in, confirms it, signs off, and leaves. My sister-in-law is a very good nurse. You know who I call half the time when I got medical issues? I call her. I call her. And when she says you need to go to the doctors, then I'll go to the doctors. Till then, piss off. Plain and simple. And people think it's nuts. And I mean, I'm blessed in the fact that I married into a family that has, and I mean, she's one of them fandancy high-end nurses. So, I mean, she's damn near a doctor just without the title. It's like, okay. So I call her and say, hey, my butt's leaking. How do I fix it? She's like, gross. Go get some Imodium AD or something? Put a cork in it? Although the family practice doctor that I have now, I've only met with him twice, but he's a very good doctor. He's very realistic. And he's definitely all about trying to keep everything with the insurance company, making them foot the bill for everything. So, they're like, you're going to have to go into the doctors at least once a month, and you're going to have to do this. And the doctor's like, shit, you can come see me once a year. He's like, yeah, no. You could see me once a year. Oh, coffee. I will say this in all this stuff, and as far as medical stuff and griping and bitching about this stuff, it is something, I'm physician assistant. Yeah, I don't know exactly what her title is. I just know she's like she's one of them type of nurses that every doctor wants to have around. I don't know exactly what it is. I know she gets chased around and recruited all the time. My wife has these fancy rubber plugs for her butt. Want to borrow? Nice! Doctors is prima donnas that are strutting around in a white coat and think they are special. What do you need to shit like, yeah. Don't get me wrong. Doctors have to go through, here in America, they have to go through extensive schooling. I mean, literally, these guys are in debt for pretty much their entire life trying to pay off their college tuition. I think it's like a couple $1,000,000 to go to school to be a doctor nowadays. And, you're talking student loans forever.
Gotta jet. Have a great day.
Leaving on a jet plane. Don't know if I'll be back again. Thank you, Ruger.
Making them dirt road dollars, way out yonder, having them holler.
I miss Catherine Nelson, best doctor I ever had. Allergic to rubber gloves. Oh. But, yeah, I don't know. I mean, and here's the thing. When you guys, when I sit here and I listen to your guys, or I read your guys' stories here in the chat about stuff you've had to go through for medical and the bills, $11,000 bill popping up for some supposed doctor's visit from, how many years prior. It's like, come on, man, really? You're going to charge me 11 grand for something you said that happened 6 years ago or 7 years ago? Yeah, come on. No. And psychologists overpaid for listening to people and working after food weird shit. And psychologists aren't no better. They just hand you pills and say, here you go, try these. Make sure you come back next week. But and there's really good people in every field. I don't want to say every doctor is like this. I don't want to say every hospital or every family practice center is like this. Okay, and I don't want to say that because that's not true. The psychologist that helped me deal with my opposition defiance disorder, absolutely phenomenal man, and did it without medication. Took the time to deal with me. Took the time to study and analyze me, study my file, study my behavior on a day-to-day basis, and took the time to figure it out and help me work on coping mechanisms to not be triggered. Figured out what my triggers were and helped me realize those triggers and how to get around those. I had a nurse save my life in ER at Rice Hospital because they just opened the door and told me to go home, and I was bleeding to death. She went to get a real doctor who did surgery on me. And I've heard that story more than once. Matter of fact, my experience the last time I was at Rice, I'd gotten that influenza A when it was going around, I don't know, 4 years ago, 5 years ago. I'd gotten that influenza A, and I got it really bad. I had to have two full-grown men come carry me out of the house because I couldn't even stand up anymore. I hadn't been to the bathroom in 2 days because I would go from freezing cold to sweating to death. And I was pounding Gatorade and water like it was going out of style. And what had happened was my wife finally calls a couple of guys over. A friend of mine comes all the way from his Christmas party. They load me in my wife's car. I literally have no power at all, none. I'm completely depleted. I have nothing. And my wife drives me into the ambulance bay of Rice Hospital, and we go in there, and the lady's like, "Well, you need to get yourself in the wheelchair." My wife's like, "I just had two full-grown men put him in my car. He has no power to stand up." And I'm trying. I'm a big guy. There's nothing more demeaning when you actually have no physical power. None. And this lady's like, "Well, you need to get up. You need to get up. And it's not that bad." And it's like my wife's telling him. So finally the security guards come out and help put me in a wheelchair, and then help get me up on the bed. And then they run the test. And here it comes out I've got one of the most severe forms of influenza A that they've had come through the hospital. And the nurse is coming in and apologizing. "Sorry, we've had so many people coming in here faking it, da 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 da." It doesn't matter. It's your job to figure that out after the fact. It's not your job to sit there and analyze me just by looking at me like that. You run the blood test and find out I'm in very, very bad shape, and I've been this way for almost 2 weeks. It took 2 weeks for this thing to knock the piss out of me. Overuse of happy pills will not cure the cause. Most times it's stress, work life stress, overpayment, and always make the payment on mortgage. And there's lots of people that legitimately need medication. When I talked about it last night, people legitimately need things like depression medication. Brent, what's happening? Good to see you. There's legitimate people who need, like depression medication and things like that. There's legitimate people in legitimate cases with bipolar disorder. There's legitimate cases of anxiety, but the fact that people are quick to take a pill, then, because a doctor says, "Here, just take this pill," as opposed to actually analyzing. See that, and that's one thing I had respect for my psychologist for, because I got coping mechanisms. Now, there are some people that just does not work for, and I need people to understand that. There are some people out there, and there's lots of people out there, not just some, but there's lots of people out there that legitimately have to have medication to balance themselves out. You take somebody who has true bipolar disorder, okay? And those of you who don't know what bipolar is, it's your emotions run through a cycle. It's like a roller coaster, constant up and down. You don't have a straight line with bipolar disorder. Your body just doesn't function that way. So what they have to do is they have to find a medication, and they have to work on a medication that will kind of level you out. You might have a few hiccups here or there, because here's the thing. with bipolar disorder, it's like this. You could be having the greatest moment of your life. You could win the lottery, your bills could be paid, your other half could be happy, the kids could be doing great, great in school. You could have the perfect life and you'd still be depressed as shit for no apparent reason. And it's because of the chemical imbalance in your body. It's due to a chemical imbalance in your body. And really what it is, you have to take the time and there's good psychologists and good doctors who will take the time to get to know the person, figure it out, and actually honestly work on a medication. There's no science exactly. I shouldn't say that. There's with psychologists, medications they use for bipolar. A real doctor is going to say, this is where I think he doesn't care what he's getting for kickback. This is where I want to start you out at. They're going to start you out on something low. They're going to see how it works. Because, and truthfully and honestly, for stuff that deals with chemical imbalances in the body, it takes 21 days to a month for them to take full effect. But that doctor is also going to monitor you. It's going to have you check back in. They're going to have you come in and check your blood work, and they're going to see how this stuff is reacting as this 21-day process is going. But there's a lot of them out there that just throw those pills at you, say, come back in 3 months and we'll see how it's working. Brent says, I had a nurse do the same thing to my wife, told her to get up and she couldn't. And I came unplugged and grabbed that nurse and asked her if she wanted to be the next one needing a hospital bed. That's kind of, yeah. I'm lucky when I go to the ER. I tell them I have kidney stone. I usually get pain meds immediately. Then they take tests and do scans. And, of course, they have my records and they know what I'm talking about. Yeah. So it's very, very tough. And it's a tough situation because, it's like in everything you do. Like me, I'm a driver. You got good drivers and bad drivers, and everybody wants to focus on the bad drivers, but they don't want to focus on the good guys. They don't want to focus on the good guys who've been out there doing this and putting in the miles day in and day out without an issue. And do it every single day. But we're going to talk about the bad ones all the time. And we're gonna keep restricting them because we're not going to count for the fact that 90% of them are good drivers, but we're gonna pass laws and restrictions based on the 10% that are bad. I don't know. There's a lot of reform, a lot of restructuring, in my opinion, that needs to be redone in the medical field in and of itself. And I think the fact that they have been able to run for this long unmonitored, it's going to be hard to reel them back in. It's like this. Everywhere else you go, you know what you're paying for service before you get there. You go to a mechanic shop. They tell you what their hourly rates are. They will give you an estimate what it's going to cost to get this project fixed. And first shit was blamed on weight, now sleep apnea. My wife and I have figured out my sleep apnea. The more weight I'm losing, the better I sleep. The more active I stay, the better I sleep. I don't roll around so much. And my snoring gets to be less and less. So, that was a saying, takes a village to raise a kid. The meaning, friends and family should help out more today than they do. And that's the thing. It used to be that. I mean, when I grew up in a trailer park, man. And I mean, everybody, I'm not kidding you. You said a cuss word, the neighbor lady heard you, boy, she'd catch you with a belt just as fast as your mom or dad would. Nowadays, your kids are out there screaming. Like me, when we first moved back here, neighbor kids over here was always screaming, hey, fuck you, fuck that. And I was like, hey, you ain't gonna be hollering like that in front of my house. He's like, fuck you. And I went out after him. He run in the house, went and grabbed his mama. I said, listen, I don't care how you raise your kids, but he's not going to be standing out in front of my house screaming all sorts of obscenities. That's not going to happen. You need to handle that. And she just looked at me. I said, I'm not playing. You need to handle that. So, sadly, my youngest sister only talks to me when she needs something, mostly money. Yeah. Yeah. I mean, and that's the thing when you talk about a village to raise a child, and that's the way it used to be. I mean, my neighborhood, you come out cussing and swearing in front of somebody's house, well, you wasn't supposed to be, boy, you better watch out because they coming out with belt in hand, and you like, oh no, you hurry up, think you go run home, and then they go tell your mom, and then by the time you get home, you get your ass handed to you. All right, Jerry, thank you very much. I appreciate that.
Making them dirt road dollars. Way out yonder, having them holler.
Adding some color to the cup. But yeah, it's like I don't know. I mean, but then again, you're talking about a society that you're talking about a society now that's offended by everything. You can't even discipline your own children without being turned in for child abuse. What money? Yeah, but and I can't believe the society shift because it's like, wow, you could be charged with assault for yelling at your kids. I think it was in Pennsylvania, somewhere out east. A lady was being charged with assault for yelling at her kids. She said, "Here, you can have them." The state goes, "What? You're going to tell me how to raise my kids? You can have them. I'm not going through this. I'm not going to raise them by your guidelines or standards. My kid did something wrong. He's going to be disciplined." And he said, whether it's physical discipline, nonetheless, it's discipline. You're overstepping your boundaries, so apparently you want them, so here, you have them. And and the thing is it was hilarious in and of the fact that she wasn't playing. She wasn't kidding. She said it, and she walked out of the courtroom. All right, Jerry, thank you again.
Making them dirt road dollars. Way out yonder, having them holler.
I remember this. It was like 6 years ago she did this, and she walked out. She said, "Here." And she walked out, and she looked at her kid. She said, "This is what you signed up for. When you start walking and telling your teachers that you're abused and you're telling the police that I'm abusing you, here, you're not welcome in my home anymore." And she walked away. And she caught a lot of criticism. Oh, what kind of parent does that? Well, a parent that's facing prison over bullshit policies and kids who are taking advantage of the system. The outcome of it is that basically she wasn't charged. Her kids went back home, and I never heard about them again on the news. But literally, it should. I was hoping it would have taken a precedent. It was like literally one of the first videos I ever did, talking about this. And the thing is when you look at the stuff, my mom had to do the same thing with me because I was being taught in school that getting soap in my mouth for cussing was poisoning me. So my mom went to Tabasco sauce. Needless to say, I developed an immunity for hot stuff quite quick because I had quite the mouth on me. But then I started claiming child abuse, and then the first time I found out, my mom's like, "Hell, you ain't got to be here, boy. They got places for you. Get home." I found out they got places for me, and they got lots of them. Hi, Scooter. What? Well, come here. Somebody decided to come down to the studio and visit. Hiya, Scooter. Want to say hi to the camera? Look. Scooter, look. What's that? Look, you on camera. Oh, here comes the tater. Hi. So, yeah, when it comes down to it, it is what it is, you know. And my dad had to look, rarely used. My dad had the look, rarely used a spanking. That look, you knew you done something wrong. So you better have, what? You gotta go potty, Scooter? You gotta go potty? Huh? You go outside? No, you just want to hang out? Okay. So, yeah, they don't do this very often. Come on, Al. All right, Scooter, everybody's saying hi to you. He's like, what is all this shit? Oh, Lolly's not watching. Oh, Mama's not watching, Scooter. So, a family show all the kids want in. I don't know what it is. He likes getting scratched right here. See, the studio is down in the basement. Normally the dogs don't come down here unless Laura comes down here, so. Oh, I'm pretty sure they got to go outside. That's why I came down here. I don't know. Tater! Come on, Gator. What's Al doing up there? Scooter, what's the Al doing? It's like, I don't give a shit. I'm pretty sure they got to go outside. So, we got 5 minutes left of the show, guys. Oh, Scooter, you can't take that with you. So, what I'm going to do is I'm going to cut it out early here. I'm going to let the dogs out so they don't pee all over the place. And, yeah, we will catch y'all tonight. So with that being said, we'll catch you on the flip side. Y'all keep cold, keep the bottoms up, and make sure you scrutinize your medical bills. Don't let the insurance companies dictate what the doctors pay so that they can charge you out the ass later. So we will holler at y'all later.
Some call me a sinner for the things I've done. Born with a heart of stone, fast with a gun. you're standing in my